right now, we're moving on to another interview with one of the legendary people in the scene. His name's
hardly a legend.
His name's Louis Navas. How about you introduce yourself and tell us what you do?
Hi, I'm Louis. Louis Navas. I'm an artist and sometimes a musician and sometimes a show booker, and I kind of like a jack of all trades. I help people with their album artwork and their T-shirts and their, their ads or social media stuff. And I basically end up doing a lot of odd jobs. That's the name of it.
All right, so let's start with two kind of simpler questions, kind of like warm-up questions.
Sure.
First being, what were some of your favorite releases from this year?
Okay, so this year had a lot of good stuff. I gotta give it up to the boys in Moontooth. They're local homies, and they freaking dropped this fire record called Chroma Paragon. I think it was in February they dropped that record. Absolutely stunning advance in the world of rock, doomy, power metal-y goodness. It's just all around talented record. So that's got a good spot on my list. And then Night Versus Into the Vanishing Light was a big one for me. Mothership by Dance Gavin Dance. The Stage by Avenged Sevenfold. And if we're gonna go with one more, I'd probably have to go with those re-releases that Brand New put out over the summer because they're beautiful.
The next question: what are 3 interesting facts about yourself?
3 interesting facts about myself.
/ random facts.
Random facts. Okay. One, my favorite comic book of all time is The Watchmen. I found it when I was 12 years old. I never stopped reading it again and again. First time I picked up drumsticks and played a kit, I was about 8 years old. And I guess a third random fact we'll go with is, I've got no idea what I want to do with my life.
All right, so let's continue.
Go.
What inspired you to become an artist?
Okay. All right.
Who inspired you?
All right. So it's kind of a loaded question. So I got into. I used to watch all the superhero cartoons and stuff growing up, like all the X-Men and Batman, Static Shock, all that good stuff. And I would always try to draw that, and then I would take my action figures, I started drawing those, and then I started drawing off the comic books I had, and then I found Dookie by Green Day, and I started drawing that, and then I just never stopped. I was in elementary school, and it just kind of kept going.
So when did you start working in the local scene?
Actually, okay, so I started working in the local music scene when I was in 10th grade, and my buddy Jake Furia started talking to me. He's like, hey, so I need a T-shirt done for my band Deadly Blessed. Do you know anybody that can do it? And I know you're an artist, and I don't really know where to start. And he's a couple years older than me, and I was like, all right, yeah, I can do it. I lied through my teeth, man. I had no idea what I was doing. So I sat there and I drew this Charles Manson knockoff and put their logo on it, and I used a Photoshop knockoff called Pixlr to put it together, and it came out nice somehow. And then Jake and I started working together, and we've been working together for pretty much the last 5-6 years, and it's expanded from there.
So was this moment kind of like a wow moment, saying to yourselves, I can implement my art into this whole area of music?
It was a dream from when I was a kid, because I mentioned Dookie. I saw that album cover and I was like, I need to be able to do that. And then I got some Iron Maiden stuff and I was like, I need to know how to do that also, and I want to know how to be that guy. And then when Jake said, hey, I need this, I'm like, of course I'll do it. And then I just figured it out from there. It's just been a learning experience ever since. It's beautiful.
So what is the process like talking with bands and creating either a poster for an event, piece of album art, or just a T-shirt design?
It's all about how everyone feels about the project. If it's all about the music itself. So if I'll start talking to the bands, and I usually make friends with everybody before I start really working with them, or before I even book them, and I'll be like, all right, so what's the feeling of this? What are we thinking? We going with good vibes? We going with something a little more evil? We going with something a little twisted? What do we like, guys? And then we'll start chatting, and then I'll be like, all right, so send me your lyrics, send me your music, and I'll sit there and I'll start doodling, and I'll start putting them on my car, and when I'm just around the gym and around the house, and then I'll get some ideas, and I'll get some doodles and sketches, and sometimes it's in a timely matter, sometimes it's a little bit of time, and usually everyone's pretty much on board at this point, so we're waiting on the right moment, and then we'll chat, and then like, okay, cool, so do we like this, do we like that, and usually we kind of come to a line of best fit, and then we run with it. So.
All right, so let's now talk about a little bit about your booking.
In Blacklist Collective.
In Blacklist Collective, which I believe you created. Correct?
Yep, me and two of my homeboys from my town, and then the guys in Older Than Oceans and the guys in More of Myself to Kill actually got that idea in my head.
So when did this form?
Well, it was about January, and I'm going to give a shout out to Joe Velosi because he was ripping on this one guy on the internet and kind of saying how there were some problems with the way people book shows, and I was sitting there going, well, I bet you I could do these things that everyone seems to need, and I started talking to the Older Than Oceans guys, and they're like, yeah, of course, go ahead, do it. And my buddy Fred, my buddy Ricky from my hometown, they're like, yeah, this sounds like a lot of fun. Let's all get on board. And then I started talking to Dan O'Brien from Liquid Shadows, because he taught me a lot about the scene. And Maxwell Peters from Platinum Sound also taught me a lot about the scene. And Dom Capuano from Sage Empire also taught me a lot. So I kind of had everyone together. We all met at the California Diner, started talking about it. Kind of had this whole vision for what it was, and it turned out to be something completely different. And then it became what it was. I mean, we all worked hard, and the bands worked hard, and I didn't sleep, and it worked.
So, what were some of your favorite shows that you booked in the past?
There were 3 shows this year that I booked that absolutely had my heart from the minute I booked them, and they were just as satisfying as I ever hoped they'd be. The first one was the Bad Case of Big Mouth show that we did at 89 North that had Gutter Life. It had My Sword and Shield, Jake Furia's band Good Love. It had Older Than Oceans, and I don't know why I'm drawing a blank on what that other band was. I think it was Staleworth. It was Staleworth. It was definitely Staleworth. Fucking love those boys. Anyway, freaking, sorry, radio. Yeah. So anyway, so that was a great show. That was a lot of fun. The next show it was 2 days later. I had my friends from Ohio come over. They're called Everyone Leaves. They're probably the best emo indie outfit on the continent. They're amazing. Go check them out. New album, EP called Lonely End. Great job. And then their tour partner Bogues with the Nightmare Police and Check Engine Light, Suburban Zombie, and Fox was on that bill. And then so that was that, and that was in May. And then over the summer we had a show that had about 400 something people on a farm over in Santa Mauritius.
Oh yeah, I saw
Hot
that.
Fest, the legendary. We had Eternal Boy, who used to go by Space Pimps, on that bill. And then we had Check Engine Light, MJT, who are going to South by Southwest, by the way. Give them a round of applause. Check Engine Light was on that bill with In Loving Memory, who some of them go here.
Yeah.
Older Than Oceans was on it
Living goes
again.
here.
They're repeat offenders. Min State, who all have my love. They're like mentors to me. And this is a while ago, so I can't.
So would you
want to
make that farm thing like a yearly event? During the
we're
summer?
hoping. I think it's gonna happen. We're talking about it. About like when it first happened, definitely doing it. Kind of lost touch a little bit because I kind of like went and hid for a minute to go work on my own stuff for the fall. But we're gonna start opening up the discussions about that, and I think it's gonna happen. We're gonna make sure everything's correct on that.
So what are some shows that you're looking forward to in the future?
Well, I have 3 of them booked. That I mean, it's the first ones I've done in a while. One of them is actually on November 26th. That is the All Out EP release show. Boys in All Out are fantastic. They started looking for members about 2 years ago, and they got everything together, and it just sounds amazing for them. But they're headlining their own show at Amityville Music Hall on the 26th, and that's going to have Approaching Troy and the B-List and Older Than Oceans and Alumni and Legend of You, and it's going to be a nice pop-punk riot. So we have 2 more shows going on. That they're both in the same weekend. It's December 9th at Shaker's Pub. We're actually celebrating the going away party for my buddy Evan Wines. Evan, if you're listening, you're like one of those awesome dudes that just, we're going to be really sad when you go away. On that show is going to have Inside the Cypher, Trace Your Steps, who just released a fantastic new single.
I actually played that
there
before,
you go.
so
there
if
you
you
go.
heard that, there you go. Check
ADD,
it out.
baby. It was great, man. Restwell is going to be on that. They're my boys from right in the home area. There's a surprise set, and then there's In Lucid Dreams, If He Dies, and Enemy of the State. It's a loaded show. It's going to be great. It's going to be a lot of fun. So that's the one on December 9th at Shaker's Pub. And then on the 11th, which is that Sunday, back at Amityville Music Hall, we have my friends from Massachusetts in Bottom Fed coming down here with their tour partner, Hugo. Mm-hmm. And on that bill is Staleworth, Mutiny Abroad, The Muckrakers, and we just got word this morning, Gutter Life's going to be shooting a music video there that night. So that's another one that's going to be a bit of a riot.
If you want to be in a music video, there you go.
Yeah, there's going to be some undead guests there, and we're going to have a lot of fun. And Gutter Life, they're great friends of mine, and they're... we were talking last night and we're like, let's just make the second part of your music video at AMH. And Matt's like, dude, that's brilliant. Let's do it. So they're going to be shooting their video all day and then come and close it up that night. So come hang with us and come see what's good with Long Island music, because it is definitely a riot, as you heard from Giants at Large before. I mean, you got some real good stuff here. So
I got news that you told me. You returned to the drum kit.
I did. Can't really tell you what I'm doing with it yet, but I am back on the kit.
To some unknown band.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to go back on the kit?
I missed it. That's really it. It was part of my soul. It was like I played every day for like 4 or 5 hours a day. I listened to Iron Maiden and Paramore on a weird mix, and then Sevenfold and Green Day and Megadeth, and played that all day, and now it was gone, so I needed it back.
So when did you started playing drums?
I was 8 years old.
8 years old? One other thing you told me about is that you're working on a comic book series now with your cousin.
I am.
So what were some inspirations for that comic book, and can you give us a quick synopsis if you can?
Okay, so I'm not going to give out any specific details because we're still ironing them out, but basically the inspiration is we like comic books, and we like comic book movies, and we like superheroes, and we like all of it. So what my cousin actually did was about 10 years ago was write a script for a movie that never got made, and it was called Captain Cliché. And basically the whole thing was basically the Deadpool movie before Deadpool gained the notoriety that he did in our modern times. And basically him and his cohorts accidentally killed, or actually they killed Disco in the 70s by killing this villain named the Disco Prince, who had a giant disco ball and a laser, and he was trying to kill everybody on the earth, and they stopped that from happening. But instead of a whole chain reaction, and then in modern times they have a run of adventures. So what we decided was, like, we kind of hit a stalemate on the project when we reopened it about 2 years ago, and we're like, well, why aren't we running with this? And we're like, well, it's because we don't know the characters. So we're like, all right, so let's start writing them. And then we're like, well, if we're writing them and we're doing storyboards, let's just color them and call it a comic book. So we're developing it into a comic book, and that's what we're doing with it. And we're changing the story and expanding it and adding characters and having a lot of fun with it and making some more modern things. And I don't know, we're having fun with it. We love it. So
before we end, how about you just give us some goals that you have for the future?
All right. Well, I'm going to be at New York City Comic Con next year. I got a booth set up, and I'm going to be selling some art and having some fun doing that. So, so that's one goal for the next, I guess, let's say it's a year. One goal for the next year is to get my inventory and get my private collections and series, boosted. My goal is to draw about 200 things that are just mine before Comic-Con next year and have them ready to go. Another thing is I want one of the bands that I work with to get some kind of break, some kind of signing, some kind of good tour, something where these guys that are working harder than me to make this thing happen. I mean, I put 20 to 40 hours into a piece, but these guys are putting their whole lives, and they really deserve a round of applause. But I'm working on releases from All But Impossible, and I'm always working on stuff with Jake stuff right now at Shotgun Styles, and I work with BMO, and I work with I work with the Muckrakers. I work with so many people, and they just all deserve the world. And I want to see these people expand. Approaching Troy, I'm doing their shirt right now. I want to see them expand. I want to see Older Than Oceans. I just want them all to just blow up and like in the right way, of course, and just do their and just get the credit they deserve because we all work hard, but they work harder. So.
That's about it. I want to thank you for joining us and
thanks for having me, man. It was great.
Telling about yourself, and your role to give like everyone a bigger picture of how much you actually do.
Thanks, I really appreciate it.
It is a lot.
Shout out. I mean, we got to give a shout out to Kyle too, though, because this guy works real hard to make sure everyone's heard. And I mean, I found the Spectrum about 6 months ago, frantically calling over Beartooth tickets, and very excited that I was hearing Older Than Oceans and Champ over the radio. So I mean, you got to give a shout out to this guy. I mean, send him some love and send him some recognition and send him your singles and your tracks and your mixtape, bro. Because if you want it heard, he's the guy. So
we're going to be continuing on with some music. Any recommendations for the next track?
Well, if you got anything by All Out, Older Than Oceans, Approaching Troy, B-List, any of those cats that are playing at Anvil Music Hall on the 26th, feel free to put some of that on.
You know what? I'll put on, since they released a single, I'm going to be playing All Out's Strive On.
Oh, it's a great song. So you guys are for a treat.
So hope you enjoy. I'm going to be playing some tracks afterward, and I'll talk to you guys later. Hope you enjoy.